At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.
Residential Tech Talks, lighting specialist, residential tech.
All right, we are back on the Residential Tech Talks podcast, coming to you from CEDIA Expo 2025 here in Denver. Just a quick special thanks to our partners behind us who helped make this possible at this show, and also a special thanks to you, Mr. Joe Walters.
Thank you, sir.
Eastern Regional Sales Manager at Wisdom Audio. Yep. Appreciate you jumping on, breaking away from your booth. I feel like that, is it difficult to yank you away from your booth for a little bit? Or is it like a nice reprieve for you, like a refresher?
Yes and yes.
I get it. That's awesome. How are things going?
It's been a great show so far. Yep. We've got a lot of really cool new products that we're launching right now.
Yeah.
And, our brand just continues to grow. We've really grown this year, especially with the whole tariff uncertainty of everything, right, because we are an American company. We build everything in the U.S., including our electronics.
Yep.
And that has been a real boon for our business this year because of the uncertainty with other manufacturers and vendors, and a lot of clients and dealers are calling us that weren't our dealers in the past that we are able to help where they were not able to get support from their current partners.
Wow. It's always been a great story to tell. Obviously, something you guys have been able to lean into a little more, I imagine, as there's been this uncertainty. So, I don't want to ask specific numbers, obviously, but what as far as like the interest from the integrator community around that, is that the main driver of like new business, things like that?
No, I think that, there's a few drivers of new business. We partnered in the Eastern region in Florida with Cinematech and Sony on a brand new experience center down in Florida. And our business in Florida this year, we opened that last year in August. We had a grand opening in August. It's a beautiful space. If you're ever in Denaya Beach, give us a call. We'd be happy to set you up. We can run you through the whole place. But that has really driven, on my side of the world, anyway, in the Eastern region, has really, it's doubled our revenue in the Florida market.
Wow.
Just by having that experience center with all the projects that we started speccing last year to starting to, get installed this year. That has been a big boom. But I would say probably 15, maybe more new dealers in my region, specifically because of what's happened with tariffs. Where they had projects they were working on, all of a sudden their prices were doubled or 50% higher, or they couldn't get product at all because the manufacturers weren't bringing it in.
Yep.
And they call me up and say, hey, this is what I have. Okay, I can ship that next week for you.
Wow.
So that has, and what I love about Wisdom, and this will be my 7th year there, is that we're a very easy company to do business with. And I tell that to my dealers. We have a few things that are key, right? We make line source, we have planar magnetics, we're made in America, but we're really easy to do business with. We're very dealer and client focused. If there's ever a problem, anything goes weird, we take care of the problem. We'll just ask questions and figure it out later. That's kind of how we roll. And all these new dealers that are coming on board that were not Wisdom dealers before, they're starting to figure out, hey, I like working with you guys, and you have a great product. And one of my reps told me when all the tariff stuff started happening, he goes, Wisdom's kind of become the value brand all of a sudden.
It's funny how that happens.
It's funny how that happens. That's right.
Well, it's obviously a great story to be able to tell and things like that. But focusing here in Denver and what's going on at the show, what is new? What are you guys showing off? For those that aren't here or that missed the show as we're watching this, I love giving them a little FOMO, right? What did they miss out on by not being here and walking through the Wisdom booth?
So a couple things. First of all, again, with our partnership with Sony and Cinematech, we have a full theater that's at the Sony booth, which is fantastic. And then in our booth specifically, we've got three new products and one new thing that we're introducing at the show. The first one that is shipping now, we actually introduced it last year at CEDIA, but it's now shipping, is our new Sage outdoor product. So it's our first product in our outdoor line of products. We've got multiple products that are both floor standing and also on-wall products.
Right.
Beautiful, definitely the upper end of the market, which is where we play anyway.
Yep.
And we've got a brand new product that we just received on September 2nd, our patent pending. We hadn't had our patent pending yet because they were still doing all the searches, so we literally got that on Tuesday, and that is called our new VCA 16 Perfect Array. So it's a brand new product, part of the Sage Cinema line. Okay. The patent part on that is we have a curved planar driver.
Okay.
If you think about like a J array that you would see at a concert,
right.
Our new curved planar looks kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's about 16 inches long, and what it allows us to do from like 3 feet to about 20 feet is have very little deviation in sound and performance across all the rows in the theater. So it's the first product in it's going to be a whole new line of products for us. We're working on some overhead stuff, some LCR product in that category. And then the third, which is huge, we launched our minimal appearance product years ago. So the James small aperture type product. James, credit to them, they trademarked the small aperture name. That's why everybody else calls it something else. Ours is minimal appearance. Little plug for you, James.
Yeah, right. Well done. We're all friends here.
That's right. And so we launched that product, and while it's by far, I'm not ashamed to say, it is the best sounding minimal appearance type product on the market because of some of the technology that we use. But the install side of it has been a challenge. It was our first product, so we're kind of learning as we go. We've been taking a lot of feedback from our dealers. And so this year we launched the brand new, it's called the ICS3 FR, which is a full range. So now we'll have a single box solution, one SKU to order. In the past it was like, well, do I need this, that, and this? Why do I put it with this? Now there's just one SKU to order. You just tell us the grill shape and size. Other than that, everything comes in the box for all ceiling applications. Solid surface, gypsum board. It's an aluminum back box now instead of a plastic box. So, I do a lot of business. I'm on the East Coast, so I do a lot of business in New York. So we need fire, we need plenum rating. In the past, we had to use special other things that they had to add. So that's all going to be done now. We have some new technology on the inside of the box. One of the things with small aperture products or minimal appearance products is that, you're taking a big speaker and putting it through a little hole. And every product out there requires some form of DSP to make that work. One of the big benefits of our initial product, the ICS3, is first of all, we use a planar magnetic driver, and it's mounted right at the surface of the ceiling. It's not buried.
It doesn't get that hollow effect.
So that's number one. Plus it plays 5 octaves. So you have all that information right at the ceiling. It doesn't require any DSP. You just plug it to an amplifier and it works. Our new one, because again, now we're using a 6.5-inch driver instead of a 4-inch driver, so we have that same challenge that everybody else has, but we have figured out a way with a new lens inside there to, again, eliminate the need for DSP. So we're going to have a single-ended, single-box solution, cover solid surface, gypsum, all the ceiling mounts. Our dealers have been come through are super excited about that.
I was going to ask, what's the feedback been like? What are you hearing from them?
What they're saying is, oh, you listen to us, and that's what you built. That's what they say. Like literally, I mean.
So you can take feedback.
That's right.
And that's awesome.
I mean, being a small company, it has its advantages and it has its drawbacks, but one of the advantages, we are very nimble. We can really change and make modifications, and we're in such a custom industry that to be able to make something custom for a dealer and take feedback on products that we have that, they don't like this or they don't like that about it, and we can make running changes or complete redesigns and get those to market relatively quickly.
No, that's awesome. Question I've been asking everyone here is, your stated goal. If there was one thing you were hoping to accomplish, being here in Denver at CEDIA Expo, what is it? Like, what do you want to get out of this show or hope to, accomplish?
Well, I wanted to be on the Residential Tech Podcast, of course.
Done. First one. Congratulations. Your 20's in the mail. Thank you for that. No.
I think with us, it's the continued evolve of our brand to really bring brand awareness. Because we are a small company, but now we're becoming more of a pull brand than a push brand. And I think that continues to evolve what our brand is, and that we're not pounding on our reps, our dealers to, you need to sell more, you need to sell more. It's more of our dealers calling us and say, hey, I need more of this and I need more of that, and that just makes my job way simpler. I mean, I've worked for companies that are push brands and it's no fun. it's so refreshing to have that. And as our dealer base grows, and we don't have a huge dealer base because that's just not who we are, and we're very selective on our dealers. And they really see that, and again through the tariff stuff that's going on, as we bring dealers in that haven't been our dealers in the past, they feel that. They're like, oh, these guys aren't trying to slam products down our throats and hit this number and do that. They've got products that we need, and it's also the visibility that we don't just have 3 or 4 products. I mean, we have a very broad product line, and that is one thing that we get out of the show is people can see our entire product line. And that was a change we made last year. We went from having active demos and a little theater and small aperture stuff and minimal appearance products that we could play to actually bringing everything we make to the show. And tell the story of how you can go from a entry-level wisdom product to the highest end of wisdom product and show them all. So that was a big thing.
What are the, I think the new intros you talked about earlier probably speak to it a little bit, but the areas in your world that are garnering more attention, or where integrators, maybe really their end consumers, are kind of gravitating towards more? Is there any growth in certain areas that you'd specifically call out that are doing better than others right now?
Well, I think that minimal appearance product is definitely something that's been a growth area for us. I mean, people have always known us for the dark room, always known us for the theater, but they didn't know that, oh, you guys make something I can put in my living room, and in my media room, and in my bedroom, and in my closets and bathrooms. And so that has really been a big growth area for us, is the rest of the house. The rest
that's
of the
pretty
house.
cool. It's awesome. Well, hey, Joe, I appreciate you taking the time and coming over here and chatting with us. It's been a great show. Great to have you on. Great to learn more about the brand too. It's a lot of great stuff, and I think, again, that story of being able to tell the I don't want to call it protection. It sounds like the wrong word, but the made here, right? It's an awesome thing, and just a part of the story that you've got going on over there in that booth, and I'm looking forward to getting over there and checking it out, man, before I head out of here.
That's awesome.
So thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you, man.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, please subscribe to us on the platform you're listening on. Also, be sure to follow Residential Tech Today on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Residential Tech Talk, fantastic lighting specialist to arc residential tech
At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.